to a very late start here.
How fabulous.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
So, hello and welcome to a very late start. Obviously, we are here. If you're on the event page, you can click the link like Dave has and joined and come on in. Apologies, no excuses. So, we have a few things to go through. Obviously, the GuideUrGuest mobile app program is now available for sale, and there is some paperwork and some pricing that we've gotten from Tate. So we're going to go through that as soon as I get everything here organized. Sorry, like I said, 30 minutes behind here, no excuse. So have you had a chance, you've actually joined us before in one of these hangouts, Dave. Have you had a chance to actually talk to anybody in the market about this?
I had talked. The short answer is no. The markets that I've been in since the conversations have been a cattle truck train, have been a less than technology oriented market. So no, the conversation didn't really come up. The thing that I appreciated the most out of the last conversation was when you pointed out the difference between the mobile app that seems to be being developed and Regal, what Regal was doing. So that gave me some clear insight as to, this is one application where everything comes up with the one app and not individual scans and things like that. So I think that was of great benefit for me to know. The other thing I really kind of pulled out of the discussion was really that this thing really isn't live yet, and that we're looking to put 25 markets together. So, that kind of told me to, to sit back and watch this training come forward, and then more information was really going to come as to who we're going to present it to, what markets we're going to attempt to open up right off the bat, things like that.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that definitely, we didn't have in place prior to our earlier meetings. And hello, Thomas, and welcome, George. I see that you're here as well. I don't know if you can hear us. Again, one of the things that we weren't able to do prior was actually talk about paperwork. So today, paperwork is available, and one of the things Tate asked us to do was to take a note of the people that were here and the people that joined this hangout so that he can send out the packets to you.
Oh, great.
So I'm going to go ahead and note everybody that's here and make sure that you get your packets and your paperwork sent out to you, and then I'm going to go ahead and go through some of the screenshots and talk a little bit about it. So we've got Dave here, and if you're joining us on YouTube and you're not actually in the Hangout, you can institute your own paperwork and get your packet sent to you as well by going to sales.guideyourguest.com and simply putting in a request ticket for your paperwork. And George. But George, Thomas, and Dave are getting their paperwork today. Give themselves a round of applause for being smart enough to be here. And they didn't even bring a note. Thomas, how are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
Real well. A rough start this morning, but real good.
No worries. No worries.
Where are you from?
I'm in Miami.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. And this is your first time joining one of these hangouts?
It is. It is. I just finished my first project with a group.
Oh, great.
Oh, congratulations. Have you had a chance to log into Guide Your Guest, sales.guideyourguest.com and see any of the previous Hangouts or anything?
No.
Okay, so this is really your first exposure to the entire program?
Yeah.
All right, definitely encourage you to go to sales.guideyourguest.com, register and create an account there, and then go into the knowledge base and catch up with some of the previous training videos that we've posted online.
Okay.
After this is done. But obviously, I'm going to notify Tate that you were here and get your paperwork out to you as well. Um, and you'll see, some of the innuendos and some of the little tidbits of the actual mobile app and how it works. So today, unfortunately, we're not going to talk a lot about the functionality of the app because we spent a lot of time talking about that. Today we're going to talk about pricing. We're going to talk about the actual paperwork and what's needed to be able to put this program in place when you're out in the field. So hopefully your next program that you go to work and sell includes the mobile app.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting.
Awesome. And Dave just dropped out of the call on us. So let's go through some of the...
Dave's here, Roger. Can you hear me?
Oh, there he is. Got it.
Yeah. You did have someone drop, but it wasn't me.
George dropped.
Oh, there we go.
George dropped out. So let me see if I can get some of this in here. I'm going to go ahead and bring up a video here. Oh, there's George. Welcome back, George. I don't know if he can hear us or not.
Yeah, I know Joseph Kane was attempting to get in. What helped me was when you posted the link to go right there. I trust that Joe may have seen it or may not have.
Yeah. Hopefully I can share my screen here and you can see. So obviously there's different, let's see here. There we go. Can you guys see that?
I can.
Yep.
Okay. So this particular one is for NADS. Hello, Sam. Welcome.
Morning.
Sorry about the delay.
It's a good thing it's Saturday morning. I didn't have to go do sales calls.
Good. That's why we said Saturday. I'm gonna note that you're here, and then you'll get these paperwork packet as well.
All right.
So this is the first change that's kind of done in it, and I don't think it matters if you're North American Directory Service or if you're it's not going to show me the other previews. Hold on. Let me go through these. Okay, so this sheet is in the demo
Right.
as well. And let's see. So one-stop hospitality and Guide Your Guest and NADS all have their own sheets. So whatever brand you're working under will be specific to your particular group.
Okay.
But not a lot has changed here. The only difference is that your contract now has a cost for 2 links.
Right.
A cost for an additional link. And if not available, obviously a checkbox.
Mm-hmm.
The location services and what they paid for their digital add-on. Of course, they're linked to their website, linked to any social media page, be that may be Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Google, linked to the YouTube video, linked to a QR code if they already have one. Now, this is not something that they're individually going to get on their own. However, if they already have one, that's definitely something that they can do. If they want to put the QR code in their own ad. link to an
Yeah, okay.
online menu if they're a restaurant or if they're a place that, a business that has that online already, then definitely they can include a link to their menu, any kind of coupons or online offers that they might, want to share, um, anything web-based as well as the printed guest directory ad. If and what he means by that is that if the guest directory is virtual, and if the guest directory has been put online, then we can link to their ad within the guest directory. So
Okay.
that's online. So if they don't have a website, they still have online presence.
Okay.
And pretty much it's pretty simple. I mean, it's this red area is really all that's been added, and it's not something that isn't hard to click out and continue as you're doing the sale. So it's still one stop close, and you're in and you're out. Of course, one stop hospitality looks the same, just a different logo.
Okay.
So here is the digital Guide Your Guest pricing. Commission rates on this new product are listed below. The main goal is to increase overall volume on a job and allow the reps to become and to overcome objections, thus closing more sales and increasing their income. This digital experience is perfect for advertisers who do a nice ad without full menu in the guest directory and then through the app. Have it linked to a website or another place that has the complete menu. It will really speed up the production and the print time, meaning that the actual digital side is going to be ahead of the electronic side.
Okay.
We want to make sure the properties promote the app. So when you check in, the front desk knows, hey, we've got this great experience. Here, scan this code, or check out in the guest directory the local area things to do. It's all self-contained, and obviously we're going through those ideas as to how this is going to stand out in just a few moments. We'll have a video from Roger, who was out in the field and actually has sold this already. So doing a custom business card that is handed out to each guest with a QR code app, which allows the property to write the wireless access code, as well as tent cards, key cards, posters, whatever is cost effective and allows the property to promote the app or QR code. So from what I understand, every property will also get 1,000 cards that also have a QR code on them and a place to write in the actual
The Wi-Fi address and all that.
Wi-Fi address, right? Absolutely. So a nice little bonus for you guys as well
Right. Right.
to pass on to the property. Obviously, this is trial and error, and they want to be able to keep the costs down on that promotion. But when signing a new contract with the property, we want to negotiate something regarding the digital experience and discuss this more as the program is rolled out. So obviously, if some of this stuff isn't working, there's room to change it.
Okay.
So we've developed the following price and commission structure based on an advertiser buying a printed ad in hotels or resorts where we are only doing the digital experience, no printed directory. Pricing will be determined on a case-by-case basis, program-by-program basis, depending on how the hotel will be promoting the app. For linking up to 2 listings, $99 to $199 based on what you sell, so 30%. After $199 and up, at 35%. And for additional listings beyond 2 listings, $49 per listing, or 30%, $59 per listing or more at 35%. So obviously, as you sell out the program and you sell out the listings, your percentage is raising. If an advertiser wants to make a change on the link after the additional proofing, the cost is $49 for a one-time change. It can be done anytime during the life of the contract, and it's simply handled by calling and making the change. Now, the location services are free of charge if they spend at least $199 on the links and also in the printed directory. So you don't have to be in the print version, but if you spend at least $199, you're going to be included in the location services as well. So you've got that extra add-on, if you will.
Yeah.
If only location services is purchased, the cost is $99. So if they just want to be in the list and they only want to be in the actual radar view, $99 gets them in there. And they don't even have to have a printed ad. They could literally just buy their way into the
really?
Okay.
Hmm.
So the app QR code is costing us money in each market. Ideally, they're trying to increase each market 30% over the print base, not less than $1,500 per market to cover the costs, commissions, etc. So let's talk about that. What do you guys think?
Let me see. It sounds good though. I mean, I haven't done it yet, so I don't know.
So Roger, what I'm hearing you say is that take the base that we go into a marketplace, so effective the next assignment, if you will, and basically add $1,500. That's the target to actually bring the application live.
Correct. For you as the salesperson. Do you think that's obtainable?
Oh,
and keep in mind that this is obviously to hit that mark, this is the tool you have to have in your hands to be able to demo. You have to be able to demo this in order to hit that mark. That's really where it comes down to. Hey, this is a good thing if you can sell it.
Yeah. So I mean, you can do the $1,500 and I'm tossing out thoughts, and just correct me if it's the way you see it. So the $1,500 can be increasing your printed ad prices, as well as getting 3 to 5 digital application customers.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, 5 new customers into a marketplace with a digital app. Yes, I think that's achievable.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very achievable. Now, Roger is not with us today. However, he and I did sit down and chat a little bit about his experience in the marketplace, which he just spent last week, the last 2 weeks actually, in the marketplace. And I do have I do have a little bit of him here, and we can play this as well.
I'll be right back.
If I can get it up.
Roger, the pricing sheet that you just showed, is it available to me? I don't know if I've seen that.
Yes, it is. Because you're here today in this, and that's a great question, Sam. Because you're here today in this hangout, now we will send you out a physical packet, and you'll actually have
that makes me official then.
That's right. And if you're watching on the broadcast, or you're watching without joining us here in the hangout, you also can get this packet and receive these materials as well by going to sales.guideyourguest.com and submitting a ticket and a request for your packet of information, and we'll send the information out.
What was the address? Sales dot
sales.guideyourguest.com,
Mhm.
and just simply request a sales packet, and
Okay.
we'll put it out to you. But because you're here today, we're going to automatically get those materials out to you
Okay.
guys. And also the same for George. George, are you there? Have you made it in and out?
Yeah,
Any thoughts that you have?
I'm in now.
Kind of a slow connection.
Well, no, what I'll do, like I said, it's been,
Mm.
I was hold on the other stuff I joined you guys, so I've missed a lot of it.
No worries. We got off to a late start today anyways, so apologies again. Apologize.
Okay.
But one of the things that you have that ability to do, and with Roger, and for some reason I can't get this to play through the broadcast here. Can you see that?
I do not.
No.
Hi, folks. Roger here. And so we've done some research and we've done some
Can you hear
testing
it?
with the new mobile app and GuideUrGuest and implementing it with the directories and getting some feedback from customers. Little background. AJ and I are the guys that kind of developed the app and put it all together for GuideUrGuest. And part of that deal was I agreed that I would go out and test the market and sell it in the market and kind of figure out the best approach and the best way to present it and the best way to get people excited about it. And I'll tell you, I've never sold a directory before. I've never gone into a market and sold ads in a directory before. This was the first time. It was fun. I had a lot of fun out there doing it. And I didn't have to create excitement. Just simply showing the app created the excitement. This thing's a hit. People like it. They're going to use it. So, again, I didn't really have any training. Nobody went out and worked with me. So what I did is I went out and I just picked up this little old book at Office Max or Office Depot. Actually, I think it was Office Depot. And I took the pages out of the two markets I was going to work, the directories, the front pages. I was working a Best Western.
You can see it now?
Timeshare vacation resort.
No, just hear it.
And I took one of the pages that they sent me with the rate sheet, all that information you guys are very familiar with, I'm sure. I took this page and I had them laminated. This was my sales sheet. I'm a one-call closer. I didn't carry a bunch of these in with me, and I didn't leave a bunch of these behind. If I couldn't get in front of the decision maker and sell them, I wanted to know when the decision maker would be there, and I came back and sold them. Some hard numbers. I worked 2.5 days the first week. I worked about 3.5 days the second week. Over those 6 days, I wrote $8,100 worth of business, on average of about $337 per customer. Contracts. Got contracts from 23 business owners for 24 different businesses that will be in that directory for that market. So my presentation was very simple. I introduced myself, introduced that I was working with the Sweetwater Vacation Resort, and I was working with the Best Western Lake Conroe Inn. Wanted to talk to them about marketing their business to the tourists that come through the area. And occasionally I'd hear, I don't really want to be in a hotel directory. And when that would happen, I'd say, no, wait a minute, we're not doing just a hotel directory anymore. We've implemented a brand new program that give me a couple minutes. Let me tell you about it. If you're not interested, then I'm going to get out of here. But I think you'll be interested. And that turned them around. And then when I got my phone out and I went to the app, in that instance, I would go directly to the app to show them, look, this isn't just a directory anymore. Included with this directory is going to be a page very similar to this, with the hotel information at the top, a QR code, and instructions on how to download it. And once they download it, this is what they get.
So that's actually a good key point in the demo materials as well that we have, is that quality in Moab that that actual sheet is part in that uh, you know package you're going to receive of your paperwork. That quality demo is going to be in there, and one of the things, I don't know if you can see it. Uh, can anybody see it, or can you just hear it?
Hear it.
I just hear it.
Okay, so what he's done is he's taken that quality page and he's laminated it, so that you can literally walk in and have your pricing and everything right then and there, and be able to show, you know, very simply how it works. And one of the things that Roger does, and you'll notice if you played with the demo, the quality Moab demo, there's two different ways to explore the local area. There's the radar, the main radar view that actually functions exactly how the app functions. And then there's also a mock view that we put in there for you to conserve your time and to make best use of your time. And I don't know, have you actually played with the demo, Sam, or has anybody?
No.
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 So
I played with it a little bit. I saw that and playing with it was just, here's how you download it, and here's how it's broken down into restaurants and nightlife and things like that. So there were a couple of tabs in the demo. That's as far as I got.
So this is the actual demo itself, and those tabs along the bottom. Now, what's able to happen here is that you can actually explore or download the directory, or you can explore the area and go to the live version of the actual app and the radar view. Now, the difference is that if you do that and you're not in Moab, Utah, you're in a place where, you know, you're 300, 400 miles away, your GPS is never going to allow this app to show properly. However, you can access it. It's right there. But also down here in the local area tab that's in the actual app, what we've done is we've put screenshots. Okay? So what you can do is you can activate a screenshot in front of your client, and you can literally say, here's what's going to happen. They're going to scan that code. They're going to get their local view. They can choose whatever it is that they want to do. Once that selection is made, it's going to bring up a list of all the featured advertisers. Once those advertisers are selected, you're going to have a link to your website, link to your Facebook, link to your MySpace, whatever the case might be. Click to call even includes the local view, and literally, instead of having to go and wait for that all to load, these pictures, your YouTube videos, your thumbnails are all right there. Click to call, rate the business, and it enables, the actual demo enables you to pitch this to your clients very quickly without having to go and, you know, say, oh, well, nothing's in the area, because we only have one area up and live in the system, and that's Moab. So I strongly recommend, and that's the one thing that you can't see in this, that Roger does, that I think is really key, is just to be able to you know, thumb through and say, look, you can have your menu on there. Look, you can have your, you know, map on there. Hey, look, you can have your Facebook page on there. You know, that it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer at that point, you know. But I would strongly encourage you, if you haven't done so like Dave has, go get the demo, play with the demo, scan the code, save it down to your phone, just like we explained you to do, and be able to, you know, literally have that on your smart device so that you can help, you know, that sales process. How are you going to get to that extra $1,500 a market? That's the only way. If you don't show it, if you don't demo it, you're never going to hit those numbers. You know, Roger had tremendous success. You know, his first sale out the gate in that area was a $1,000 full-page ad, and the guy literally took it because of the app and the map feature. And what was so important to him was the fact that he knew, and he was smart enough to realize, that if I take this ad, and he was a boat dealer, he was a boat rental place, he says, if I take this ad and somebody uses that app to get directions to me and to find me, they literally might pass 5 or 6 other boat rental places on the way to me. But if they're using that app to get to me, they're not going to see anybody else but me. And you guys know as well as I do, when people find what they're looking for, they stop looking. So that was a really big takeaway from down in Montgomery, and being able to say, hey, look at the effectiveness of what the clients say about this, not just from our point of view, but what the actual clients are. And you heard him. He said he wrote 23 contracts for 24 businesses. So, and he had never sold an ad in his life for a guest directory. Never. Never had been out in the field. So I definitely encourage you not just to, kind of preempt the process and get your training and get your app installed on your phone and go through that training video that we did a couple weeks ago, so that when your materials arrive and you actually have this paperwork in your hands, that you're able to go out and start selling it then. Any other questions? What is the current resistance like when you're out there in the market and you're selling? Is there something that are you faced with an objection that kind of alludes to the fact that, hey, this isn't a digital program? You laugh, huh?
Well, no, it's just I'm laughing because of where I'm at. I mean, I'm in Western Texas right now, so people don't even have emails. So I'm just looking forward to this. Just feels for right timing for me to just kind of play as I go along, knowing that I have the Sedona market coming up after, and that's the market that I just am really looking forward to, and I'll have enough opportunities to play with it between here and there to really make it successful.
Sedona was the big market you were keying in on the last time, I remember, and I think you're absolutely right. Any kind of travel adventure-based market. Here's the one thing. I know it's a great joke. People don't even have emails, but the reality is the travelers do.
Oh, absolutely.
When you think about the marketplace, and you think about what it is, the goods and the service that you sell, you're keying in on those people that are coming from the larger parts and traveling through, and those people definitely, almost everybody, with the exception of, a few people in the United States actually have this technology in the palm of their hands. And even if they don't, to your point, let's say that they don't even have an email address, or they don't have a smartphone, or they still have a flip phone or whatever. The ad's still in the guest directory, and the hotel still has to have a guest directory.
And that's exactly it. Again, sometimes it's, especially when you're speaking of technology and the decision maker is a less than technological person. If they don't understand it, they don't jump through hoops to do it. Sometimes they pass it off to their daughter and say, should I do this? So yes, you're open to all opportunities, but at the same time, it's, you go with what works, and maybe in just getting them to take the first step with the print ad, knowing that it's going to have a farther reach for the technological people. You can get your price up on that, so it works.
Sam, any thoughts?
I'm in California, but Northern California, and technology obviously is pretty strong out here. Yes, I think it'll be great in this market. People are talking about, because I'm in Lake Tahoe right now. I'm just having some problems with renewal and all that. Again, print ad versus digitalizing the whole book, and they're into that. A lot of people, most people out here are not really interested in print ad. They're just getting away from that. That's one of the things that I'm finding out. So I think this is a great replacement. I think it'll be awesome. People are very technology savvy out here. In fact, I learned a lot from them, and they said, look what we've done and stuff like that. They're big into social media here. I don't know how social media comes into play with this. And when they say, well, one of the guys that I was talking to, he was a pretty young guy. He had a Mexican restaurant, and he goes, well, I want to kind of get away from this hotel directories and print directories, and I'm focusing on social media. Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me because I'm pretty new with this. How does social media help the hotel guest? Okay. Um, and I think that's what he was trying to say to me was, look, your directory print ad is a little too old for me. I am looking for technology, use my technology to get to my clients, to get to my customers. And I think a lot of times when they say social media, this is what they mean. Okay,
Right.
correct me if I'm wrong. What do you guys think of this from what I just said? I'm turning towards social media. What do you guys take out of that?
Great. Actually, I'm very pleased that you brought that up because that's huge. And you're absolutely right. Here's the one thing about social media today. Everyone's an expert.
Absolutely.
The moment you sign up for Facebook and you have a Facebook account and you start using Facebook, guess what? You're an expert at Facebook.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you
Yeah.
are.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree with you.
So it's kind of like the iPad. When they released the iPad, they said this is the first piece of technology you instinctively already know how to use, and you kind of do. You just point and click. But social media today is so important to the businesses, and their mentality is that, and keep this in mind, even though they're asking you for that advice, they still in the back of their mind, they think, hey, I'm the expert. I know how to do this. I don't need this guy, but I'm going to ask him because he might be able to share something that I don't know. Maybe he's going to share something with me that's going to make me a little smarter in my social media efforts. And that's the nail on the head right there, is that you do now. You can come in with that authority, and you can say, hey, all social media that you're currently doing, any effort that you've already done, funnels through our guest directory into this app. So your Facebook now it doesn't have to get searched. I'll give you a great example. Just the other day, I was working with a client who had a big ad, and it said, find us on Facebook. Find us on Facebook? How? How do I find you on Facebook? I'm not a Facebook user. Do I search for you? What's your name? What's your address? How do I find you on Facebook? Well, this app has done all that guesswork for you. So to find somebody on Facebook just simply means you click that Facebook icon and you're there. You're on their Facebook landing page. So when you think about the QR code and what the QR stands for, it's quick response. And that would be my first rebuttal into any conversation that comes up when somebody says, what can you do to help me with my social media? Hey, do you know what QR code stands for? Do you know what QR stands for? And a lot of times they're going to no, if they even understand or know what the little funny black and white square is. It stands for quick response. And that's exactly what it does. It delivers a quick response. Now they don't have to go to Google. They don't have to go to Facebook. They don't have to try to search and find you because we've already done that for you. We've gathered your efforts, whether that be LinkedIn, whether it be Twitter, whether it be YouTube, Facebook. I keep wanting to say MySpace, even though MySpace is not even a social media network anymore. But it's still so it had such a big resonance that it's still, brand still sinks in. So some people might even still have MySpace and say, I want my MySpace up there. You can't kill the social media, but all social media efforts funnel through the funnel to the guest directory. So I think that's one of the big things that is going to help get these listings into your local apps is the fact that these people are experts. They have gone and created their Facebook page, and some of them are paying to promote that Facebook page. They have created an Instagram, and they are snapping pictures of their their dishes or their meals or whatever, and they are trying to create that social media presence. But when a traveler comes through the area, social media has not done anything for that business yet, because
Because
social
you're not in the cycle. I mean, you're not in the circle of that. Yeah, no, I hear you. Because it doesn't do anything for people coming out of town.
exactly, that's it.
Mm,
It's great for your local friends and your family
absolutely.
user base,
And
but
and you need to have that. I don't disagree. And I always say that's great. That's awesome. You need to have that because you need to have a circle of your friends and families. But what about the people who come in out of town? What about people
Well,
coming in
Sam,
for an
I have
event?
a perspective on that if you'd like to hear it.
yeah, I'd
Sure.
love
The the thing that when I peel off all the layers, a very short and direct conversation I have with somebody really just points out to the fact that people respond to invitation, and and this is a medium to extend the invitation, and the rest of it kind of takes care of itself. It's the invitation that people respond to.
to. Hmm.
Yep. No, I agree. Yeah, it's kind of like even with the ad, a lot of times you see these ads and it doesn't do anything for customers or
Right.
clients, anything like that. You're talking about call to action ads, you know?
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's exactly what I talk about because a lot of times I look at this, okay, so you have a menu there. What does that mean? I mean,
Right.
there's other restaurants has chili rellenos too. What does make me jump to your chili relleno?
Right.
Even with the QR code, and you got to have, because sometimes QR code, you just got to say scan me, because people are
And here's
curious.
the invitation right there.
That's
Scan
it.
me.
Right. No, no, no,
It's
no, no, you're
as
right,
simple as
because
that.
simple as that, because people are, especially the generation that we're in, like, oh, let's see what this does, right?
Right.
So they scan this, and then all of a sudden they end up to a page where I like that. I want to
Right.
go there.
How perfect.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because just a black little mark, like you explained, that most people will say, "What is that? I've
Right.
never seen this black square." But if you say, "Scan me with your smartphone," all of a sudden it just takes you to the next level
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
they are gonna get up from their chair
Yes.
and make that happen.
Hmm.
Because we're looking
Absolutely.
at a totally different generation out there, right? And
Absolutely.
my generation, me and my wife, we'll always look at the directory. And then if I need to use my smartphone, then I'll use my smartphone to get there. But I'm going to go to the directory. But I think it's a generation thing. If a younger generation is like, it's a phone thing. I'm going to scan it. I'm going to take less time. I'm going to take as much information as I can and go from there. And I think that's what it is. No, you're right. It's a call to action on those ads. What are you telling the
Absolutely.
customers to do when they see your ad? A lot of these ads don't tell you nothing, right?
Correct.
Hmm.
Right, and they're not necessarily current. A website, some people are great about updating it, but usually they're pretty static still. Whereas if they can link to their menu, that's great. Maybe they want the second link to their Facebook page because every day they've got an event going on, and that's where they post that information for the town. But then if you're traveling through, you happen to get the latest information for that, the party or the special event that they're doing that night, which is great.
Absolutely.
Another
Absolutely.
thing, one restaurant I was in Key Largo, and they had amazing reviews on Yelp. So I'm going to always, I think, check some of these people out. And if they're doing really well on Yelp, that's that now. It's not them telling you how great their stuff is, but it's 6,000 people who have been to that restaurant saying, "Oh, they have the
Right.
best key lime pie, blah blah blah," and that might be their best marketing tool, and they have little control over it, but it's going to help them.
Hmm. No, I hear you. I hear you.
In regards to Yelp and TripAdvisor, this is something that the business is constantly um, competing with. You don't get to you don't get to monitor. No, let me put that back, because you can monitor social media, but you don't get to control social media. You don't get to control what's said or positively or negatively about your business, especially on TripAdvisor, where travelers, kind of look to these reviews, or Yelp, where somebody says, "Hey, this restaurant sucks. Don't eat here. Bad, bad, bad." There are businesses that say, hey, don't link me to Yelp. Don't link me to TripAdvisor because I got bad reviews there and I don't want to be seen. Wrong answer. The right answer is that they need to respond. They need to find, how to get their account activated on Yelp so that as the business, they can go on to that negative post and say, look, I'm sorry that you had a bad experience here, but I want to tell you, as a business owner, I want to make it right.
Right.
Come in and see me mention this post, and 10% off your next visit or something like that. Just respond. Do something rather than nothing. And that's where I think that this is kind of a fresh approach for those people, because we're not, unless they specifically want to be linked to their Yelp account or they specifically want to be linked to their TripAdvisor because they have good ratings or whatnot, then obviously that can be included in their listing. However, this rating system, they have complete control. If there's a negative comment, it's never going to make it to the light of day. Because each and every comment has to be approved and posted within the system. So it's not really about the social comments of a business as much as it is the quick response of the business. This is how you get there. This is how you find them on social media. Here's their their current menu items or their list of services or what they do and what they offer.
Yep.
Any other questions at this point?
Yeah. Again, are we going to know ahead of time if the hotel has been contacted, if they want to do this, if they're ready to do this, or is that something that we're selling to the hotel, next week?
Great question. Great question.
Yeah.
It
Good
is.
question.
It is something that you are bringing to their attention. I don't even, like, when it comes to the hotel, I don't think so much that it's an option from the salesperson's point of view. I would just keep it, hey, look, this is what we're doing. We've made some changes. We've updated our product. The print media is still very important to us, but we've also realized that technology has become important too. So let me share with you some of the exciting things that we're doing now. Here's what it is, and then kind of explain that program with the property and the property manager or their staff, so that they know to promote this at the time of check-in, so that they know, hey, this is something new, and when these comes out, they have those cards, and those cards that they can hand out to their guests, and when somebody comes up to the front desk and says, hey, where's a good place to eat, or where's a good place to hear live music, so on and so forth. They can say, hey, scan this, everything is right there. And that's kind of going back to the whole social media aspect too. Once you receive your paperwork, you're ready to write that business. So you can literally go out and start to say, okay, do you want your Facebook included in here? Do you have a YouTube account? Whatever those social media links are, they can add that to the list. But that being said, when you look at a TripAdvisor or you look at a Google or you look at one of these map-based services that has just gone out and thrown everybody out in the area onto the map, there's no quality justification. There's no gauge there. Where you guys are actually foot soldiers in the market, you have the ability to look at that Mexican restaurant and say, I wouldn't eat here. And you know what? You might not even walk in and try to close that person or even pitch that person, because you're not going to eat at that restaurant.
Exactly.
So I like to present that to the hotel. I like to think that because you are foot soldiers in the market, and because you have worn the Google goggles and you've eliminated, the wheat from the chaff, these are hand selected on behalf of the property that they're staying at. These are the recommended places. These are the featured places in our area where we say you should do business with. And here's why. They're great food, great location, and they bought an ad.
AJ, I'd like to make not knowing what package is coming to me, I trust that it actually has hotel agreements for us to sell properties. And if it doesn't, if we could have Tate consider consider that for us and supply us with that.
Hotel agreements for the properties.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm making a note on that.
But usually I get them though. I'm surprised you don't get them.
I get them
Well,
too.
yeah. No, I guess what I'm saying, you get the ones to sign up hotel properties.
No, the contract, it's already signed contract from
Yeah. So what
yeah.
I'm asking for is the actual agreement to sign up the hotel.
Oh, got it. Blank ones. Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
go get new hotels, new accounts.
Yes.
Okay, good idea.
Yeah. Um, and obviously, when you grow a market out, we had Mike Jackson was in here a few weeks ago when we did one of our first ones. I think you might have been in on that one, Dave. And he had come from Uniguest.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he really liked about this opportunity was that you could have 4 or 5 hotels in a particular area in a marketplace, and that just increases visibility. And now with the app being specific to each property, it's almost like that's a layer that's been provided over the top of that particular property, so that it is that hand-selected, feel. This is my property. This is where I'm staying. If I'm at Quality Inn tonight and I'm at Comfort Inn tomorrow, even though it's the same interface, it's the same protocol, it's a unique layer for that property. I've got that property's guest services. I've got that property's channel guide in that app. I've got their bits of information, and I've got my check-in ability to where I can say, hey, that's where I'm staying. So those are really key things to be able to bring on additional properties, like you said, and say, hey, I'm in this area, I'm working this area, there's another hotel right down the street, we don't have a book in, I want to be able to add that. So you want that agreement, just to be clear, you want that agreement that allows you to bring on another property.
Absolutely.
Now, how would you know if they are not already signed on? You just go ask. I mean,
Well, yes, actually.
okay. No, okay. I know what you're saying, but I know it sounds stupid. But a lot of times when I drive around and I'm thinking like, you know what? I'm sure these hotels are signed up already because, I not necessarily go out and solicit new hotel business. I haven't done that, but I'm just getting the idea, the hang of what kind of experience you guys have.
Well, as with anything, the experience varies depending on where you were. I remember being in having a new project in Petersburg, Virginia, and there were just, gosh, there was a wonderful Quality Inn across the street. There was a Hampton Inn. There was a Holiday Inn. And I'm saying I'm going out here with a BB, and there's all these other things. So the first thing I wanted to check out is whether they had agreements. So I walked into each and every one and spoke to the GMs just to find out.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm in a marketplace where we have 2 projects going on at 2 times of the year. So for me to know that the 2 properties down the street are in a project 6 months from now. So I'll ask.
I think one of the important takeaways too from a salesman's point of view is that you have those rate sheets, and it's been said to us that a lot of times those aren't the rates you get, and you might have a little bit of negotiating going back and forth between you and the client to get to a point where they write you a check and sign your order. And this digital program allows you to leverage that negotiation in a really unique way, really unique way. And you have that ability to now add that into the mix and play with your numbers to get to a happy medium that expects to be higher than where you are currently today with just print media. So when I look at this pricing, I was like, wow, Tate really, this hit the pricing, the price point hit perfectly for the marketplace. However, that being said, you have that ability to fluctuate, and find that friction point and hopefully meet in the middle above where you're currently at with your current negotiations and ability to price and structure and add just a standard print media ad. Would you say that's true?
Oh, absolutely.
I would think at some point it almost reverses, where, okay, I'm going to sell you this digital program for, call it $700, and tell you what, we're still throwing in a print ad for an extra $200. At some point it's going to be like the print will be the add-on.
Excellent point, Thomas, and that's what I was talking about. It's like, how do you want to pitch this? Obviously, that print is an add-on, but if you kind of take those prices into consideration when you're pitching, and you say it's included, that's your salesman discretion. I mean, you can sell it any way you want. If you want to do the math and figure out the numbers and say, you take the full page ad and I'm going to include it for you, or however, the point is to try to get those bottom line totals up a little higher and reach a better goal for everybody.
Right, because one customer is going to say, oh, I have no interest in print advertising anymore, so you've got your strategy for that guy. And then the other one doesn't even have an email address, and all he wants is the print, so you have your strategy for that guy, I guess.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, guys, again, I apologize. No excuses for getting off to a late start this morning. However, it turned out to be a great morning.
Yeah, it was.
I think we had a great discussion, and for those of you who paid attention to this broadcast after it took place, this was our first formal recorded hangout. So if you weren't here in attendance and you weren't part of the discussion today, you still have the ability to go through and rewatch the event and hear all of these great topics and bullet points and see the pricing and the actual packs. And if you're not here today, you do need to request your paperwork and request your packet of information. You can simply do that by going to sales.guideyourguest.com, submit a ticket saying request packet, and Tate will make sure that you get your materials in a reasonable amount of time. We are going to continue to do this. Obviously, Saturday mornings are probably the best time because people aren't actually out in the field selling usually Saturday morning. Am I wrong? Does anybody have any other suggestions for times that would be better?
All right.
Saturday's fine with me.
Yeah, I think Saturday morning is good. It'd be nice to start on time.
Thank you.
I have
Way to go, Sam.
7:30 in the morning. Let's just hit it so I can move on with my life and everybody's good to go, man. Wife's happy too. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Thank you. Thank you
Hey,
very
no problem. You guys have a good weekend.
All right, be well.
Thanks, guys.
All right. See ya.
much, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.